Paul Francis Kossoff was an English guitarist best known as a member of Free. He was ranked 51st in Rolling Stone magazine list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Early days, Kossoff was the son of Margaret and the English actor David Kossoff. His father was of Russian Jewish descent. Kossoff started playing the guitar in the mid-1960s, being taught by session guitarist Colin Falconer, and at age 15 helped to found the band Black Cat Bones. The band played with touring blues piano player champion Jack Dupree, did many supporting shows for Fleetwood Mac and other gigs with Fleetwood Mac co-founder Peter Green. Kossoff jammed and spent hours discussing blues playing and players. Kossoff's bandmate in Black Cat Bones was drummer Simon Kirke, and the two went on to play on champion Jack Dupree's April 1968 album When You Feel the Feeling You Was Feeling. Free. In April 1968, Kossoff and Kirke teamed up with Paul Rodgers and Andy Fraser to form Free. They did the transit circuit for 2 years and recorded 2 albums, Tons of Sobs and Free. Both albums showcased the band's blues and soul-influenced sound, a style which was in contrast to some of their progressive and heavier counterparts at the time. Success came in 1970 when their third album, Fire and Water, spawned the big hit All Right Now. The band played the Isle of Wight festival to both audience and critical acclaim. Sellout tours in the United Kingdom, Europe, and Japan followed, but after the release of the next album, Highway, band pressures led to a split. The live album Free Live, recorded in 1970, was released in 1971 as a farewell record. While Rodgers and Fraser pursued unsuccessful solo projects, Kossoff and Kirke teamed up with Texan keyboard player John Rabbit Bundrick and Japanese bass player Tetsuya Yamauchi to release the 1971 album Kossoff, Kirke, Tetsuya and Rabbit. Free reformed and released the album Free at Last. Following its release, Fraser decided he had had enough and quit to form Sharks. Free drafted Tetsuya and Rabbit for Free's 1973 album Heartbreaker, after which the group disbanded. Rodgers and Kirke went on to form the successful Bad Company while Kossoff released a solo album, Backstreet Crawler. He then accompanied John Martin on a 1975 tour before assembling a group called Backstreet Crawler. Backstreet Crawler released 2 albums, The Band Plays On in 1975 and Second Street in 1976. Recordings from one of the band's UK concerts in 1975 were also released under the title Live at Croydon Fairfield Halls 1575. When Free supported Blind Faith in the United States, Eric Clapton was impressed enough to ask Kossoff to demonstrate his vibrato technique to him. Kossoff's guitar playing was also much in demand for session work and he contributed solos on several albums including, Jim Capaldi's Oh How We Danced, Martha Vila copyright Zed's Fiends and Angels, Blondell's Mulgrave Street, Uncle Dog's Old Hat, Michael Gately's Cafe and Mike Vernon's 1971 album Bring It Back Home. He also played on 4 demos by Ken Hensley and 3 tracks which appear on the CD-only issue of John Martin's Live at Leeds album from 1975. An unreleased guitar solo also surfaced in 2006 on the title track to the album All One by David Elliott, who recorded with Paul Kossoff in the 70s. The song Seagull, from Jim Capaldi's 1975 solo album Short Cut Draw Blood, was reputedly written about Kossoff. A 16-track career retrospective, KOS, was issued in 1977. The late 1990s saw a renewed interest in Kossoff, and another career retrospective was released, 1997's 14-track Blues Soul, as well as the 5-disc Free box set Songs of Yesterday, and a Free biography entitled Heavy Load, The Story of Free. Death. Kossoff's unhappiness with the end of Free and his drug addictions contributed to a drastic decline in the guitarist's health. On a flight from Los Angeles to New York on March 19, 1976, Kossoff died from heroin-related heart problems. The day before, he had a jam session with keyboard player Dennis Provisor. He was cremated and interred at the Golders Green Crematorium. His epitaph reads All Right Now. Legacy. Following Kossoff's death, his father, actor David Kossoff, established the Paul Kossoff Foundation, which aimed to present the realities of drug addiction to children. Kossoff further spent the remainder of his life campaigning against drugs, touring a one-man stage performance about the death of Paul and its effect on the family. One of his guitars, a 1957 Fender Stratocaster, was purchased after his death by Dave Murray, who as a member of Iron Maiden used it between 1978 and 1990. Selective discography. Free Tons of Sobs, Free, Fire and Water, Highway, Free Live. Free at Last, Heartbreaker. Kossoff, Kirk, Tetsu and Rabbit. Kossoff, Kirk, Tetsu and Rabbit. Solo. Backstreet Crawler, Koss, Blue Soul. Backstreet Crawler. The band plays on 2nd Street, live at Croydon Fairfield Halls 1575. After Kossoff's death the band made further albums. References: Clayton, David, and Todd K. Smith. Heavy Load, The Story of Free. London, Moonshine Publishing, 2002. ISBN 978-0-9542169-0-0. Tom Guerra. Paul Kossoff, Biography. Paul Kossoff, The Backstreet Crawler Vintage Guitar Magazine, 2000. External links, Paul Kossoff website.